We can begin.
Okay. So today we're doing family patterns, right?
Yes, family patterns and secrets.
So I'm going to share the slides with you. Just double checking because I am very interestingly, I can. Okay. You can see the slide properly?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So what really are family patterns and what really are secrets? Secrets again is anything that you did not ever want to talk about. Most of the times we do not want to talk about many things because we feel that if someone comes to know about that thing that is happening in our family, then the way they will look at us will get tarnished. So somebody is going to look at us in a way that we are not happy about. Someone is going to say something that we are not okay with. And we are more worried about what log kya kahenge than hum kya sunenge ya hum kya kahenge. Literally, it takes me back to that song. कुछ तो लोग कहेंगे, लोगों का काम है कहना. Now, we don't understand this. When it comes to us talking about others, this is what we say. कुछ तो लोग कहेंगे. पर जब कोई और हमारे बारे में बात करता है, हमें बहुत तकलीफ होती है. We are caught up inside and it's almost like these secrets will kill us. Also something that we have to understand that our life is nothing but a pattern. Our entire life is a journey of patterns. And if we can recognize patterns, then we can catch the worst enemy possible on this planet Earth. I mean, it's like Sherlock Holmes. Sherlock Holmes or a CID would catch someone because they follow a certain pattern. That's one of the reasons you can catch your disease because it's in a pattern. And that's what conventional doctors do. They say, oh, you have a heart problem. Your grandfather had a heart problem. Your father had a heart problem. None of the other women have had a heart problem, but tuck, 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 tuck. What does that mean? It means that there is a pattern running in the family. And the pattern happened because people lived a life in certain way. So our lifestyle and our pattern somewhere kind of fits in. And then the secrets, a pattern of either being very open or pattern of being very closed. I come from a family where silence was considered golden. तुम अपने घर के बारे में बाहर जाके कभी बात नहीं करते हो. किस लिए? बदनामी हो जाएगी. दुखी अंदर घर में बैठे रहो लेकिन बाहर जाके किसी को नहीं बोलोगे कि माय मदर इन लॉ डिड नॉट ट्रीट मी प्रॉपर्ली. हस्बैंड चाहे थप्पड़ लगा ले बाहर, तुम मेकअप लगा के जाओगी ताकि कोई तुम्हारी शक्ल से आंसू गिरते हुए न देखे. And the biggest reason of any disease that happens in our body is because we are inauthentic. Please make a note of this. Inauthenticity is one of the biggest reasons. Hamari perception and inauthenticity are very woven with each other. So what do you mean by authenticity? मैं सबको जाके सच बोल दूं क्या? उसके बाद मेरे को disease नहीं होगा क्या? Reality is, आप चाहे जाके बाहर जाके जोर जोर से स्क्रीन करके बोल दो, चाहे आप अपने अंदर रखो, as long as you are not happy and okay with what's happening inside you, as long as you are not honest to yourself, everything is a bloodied hole. when we as therapists are looking at people and we are trying to decode diseases, it's really, really important to decode what are the patterns running in the family, even if you have worked on yourself for 10, 15, 20, 30 years. Because these are the most subconscious programs which are sitting inside your body. Like the most strong pattern in our country is कि sex के बारे में नहीं बात कर सकते. So every time I come and even pose that topic to you, I have to give you an explanation as to why am I talking about it. Why should that be the case? Yet that is our understanding. Day before yesterday, I was doing work on someone and मैं तो मुंह फट हूँ तो because मुझे मालूम है कि अगर किसी को कोई बीमारी है तो there is a lot that they're telling me and there is a lot they aren't. So my first question to them is not to get the answer, but the first question that you should be open as a therapist to ask is, how is your sex life? And invariably, the answers that I get are not very, they're not very nice answers. Because we believe that if people are married, they have kids, then everything is great, their love life is brilliant. Too much or too little is an abnormality. So let's go further. I'm going to take you through the slides. Any questions so far? I haven't even started speaking, but I want to ask you guys any questions before I go further. So when we look at a family, what is a family really? What do you think is a family really? What is a family according to you?
May I?
Please go ahead.
People who we call our own to be there to talk to and understand. In any situation, good or bad, happy or sad, those are the first people we should run to and not away from.
Thank you. Which means they are our survival kit.
Yes.
And we need to belong to them.
Yes.
We need to trust them to be able to run to them. And that means our family, we need to feel like this with them. In simple language, we need to have a lot of blue color with them. I'm introducing colors with us. We need to have a lot of blue of this color. That doesn't mean you have to wear that blue color. It just means you need to have a lot of blue, which means harmony with them. Trust, yes. Love, connection. You need to feel belonged, not नाम के वास्ते. अगर तुम्हें लोग कहें कोई बात नहीं बेटा तुम मेरे साथ रह सकती हो, that's not enough. The words don't comprehend here. You know whether you are belonging or you're not. You can't fool yourself. One of the biggest reasons that we keep secrets is so that we can keep this group together. Because our biggest secrets are with the group called the family. Either they can give you belonging or they can give you abandonment. If you do not feel belonged, you cannot survive and you will not feel connected to them. I hope this much is very clear. Our beginning of our life, even when we are inside our mother's womb, if she is not happy to carry on the pregnancy, she is going to constantly sit inside and she's gripping in her head, even if she hasn't told the whole world. That little fetus growing inside knows that there is some conflict going on in his mom's mind, and he or she will decide whether they want to come into this world or not. So I'm going to say a statement which is not a thumb rule, but it is a thumb rule. So I'm not saying this to, when I say this, I know again it's going to be very, oh my God, how can she talk like that? But your womb is the first home for every child. अगर आप खुश नहीं हैं इस प्रेगनेंसी से, आप नहीं चाहते हैं कि ये बच्चा आए, तो ये बच्चा महसूस करने वाला है अंदर, ये बच्चा अंदर महसूस करने वाला है, कहने वाला है मुझे यहाँ नहीं रहना. Miscarriages don't just happen. Of course, there is. हम ना हमारी सिर की जू भी खो के ना वी से ओहो मेरे सिर की जू चली गई. ठीक है, 10 रुपए आपके खो जाते हैं ऐसे ढूंढते जैसे खुदा चला गया. So similar way, when your child goes, then is the time that you sit down and say, oh, मेरा बच्चा चला गया. But often when I have had a conversation with women who have had a miscarriage, and I will give you two situations here, there is a pattern running in the family. The first pattern is the mother wasn't sure whether she wanted to conceive or not. And mother wasn't sure whether she wanted to conceive because she doesn't even know whether she wants to be in the marriage or not. She's staying back in the marriage because it feels good. It's the right thing to do. Case number one, the lady is 32 years of age, very pretty. She's married to a man who is not doing financially very good, but is a star, is an actor. She's 7 weeks pregnant and she miscarries the baby. And when she miscarries the baby, that is the time when she says, oh, I wish I could have the baby. For the first time, I'm feeling that I've lost something very dear. She's getting anxiety now and cannot cope up with life anymore because she's depressed. She's feeling lost. And that's when she approaches me. We find out that her mother left the planet Earth when she was just 19. At 19 years of age, she was taking care of her younger sister, making decisions for her, and felt the same anxiety that she was feeling today when she lost her child. Her mother had an accident, and that is how she passed away. On the day of her death, she was completely drunk. She had had a massive fight with her second husband. Both the kids were from the first husband. And she literally aborted her life because she was in a fit of anger. Her husband, on the other hand, comes from a very affluent family. That's why it didn't matter whether money, both of them are very financially prosperous, but they didn't really have to work because somebody is earned for them. He lost his father due to separation, and he's used to living his life in a box. When I say in a box, he's lived a minimal life where he could shut up his life by closing himself up in a suitcase and moving on. The girl is wanting security. He wants to shut the box and move. She wants security. Mom didn't have that security because she did not have connect with her first husband. She was fighting with the second husband, or the second husband was fighting with her, doesn't matter. She wasn't happy. The nest that is required to create security is made up of two people. Like they say, hai na, bolo bolo, mummy ko papa se, papa ko mummy se, प्यार है, प्यार है. और अगर नहीं है तो आप उस घर में नहीं रहना चाहते जहां प्यार नहीं है. कुछ समझ आ रही है? Now, very interestingly, During the COVID time, jobs are in a really bad place and actors are having a real tough time for the first time in their life. From the glam image to feeling no identity, they shifted to Goa. She got pregnant, a ticket to security, a ticket to make a house. She and he spent great time with each other. They were not, she adopted his story of being in the suitcase. Being in a suitcase does not give you security that you're looking for. It gives you adventure. Remember, adventure and security don't come together. What was interesting, she after becoming, having a glimpse of what it means to be a parent, felt the closeness with her spouse that she had never felt before, and felt even bigger connect, because for the first time, two people like her sister and she had lost their mother, and they knew what that loss was like. Her spouse and she had lost the baby together, and now there was someone who understood what losing someone means. This was extremely important for her. This creates a footing of a very secure, fertile land. Interestingly, she gets a dog in her life, a puppy. And after she gets the puppy, she goes through even further anxiety. The anxiety is now of taking care of the puppy and having no mobility of her own, not being able to leave the house, because the puppy is literally like a baby who has to be taken care of. And I laugh and tell her, maybe the universe is throwing this at you because you need to decide whether you really want a child or not. You could always give your puppy for adoption, but you cannot give your child for adoption. When children very early become parents, because she at 19 became a parent to her sister, she already has a child. She already has a responsibility. Similarly, if we go back digging into her family, her mom had become a parent very fast because her family also was extremely disturbed. And though she did not lose her mom to death or dad to death, but it was almost like she didn't have that security that she wanted. And she was the one who was holding the finances of the family. This girl is the one who's holding the finances of the family. She's practically like the man of the family, very pretty. I hope people are understanding when I'm talking about patterns. Does that make any sense to you? Any questions here before I go to the next case?
I have a question.
Yes, please.
When you say the affluent people are in the habit of packing up in their suitcase and moving on, packing up and moving on, like packing up the subject and moving on.
I was saying that her husband has the habit of packing up and moving on, because when his mom left his father, she left a home with a suitcase.
So is it the same issue with people who feel like I need to live out of suitcase and not be in the situation to pack up and move on, like the suitcase life that people prefer?
Absolutely.
Is it coming from the same place?
It is. If I look at myself, my father was always moving out of the suitcase. He lost his mom when he was just 2 years of age. If you give me a chance, I would put a suitcase, put my 4 clothes and leave here any given time. I'm always thinking of how to leave. I get bored too easily. So any of this is also a pattern. We are creation of our patterns, nothing else. Any other question? That was a very beautiful question. Thank you so much. Same with me, Kanchan says, yes. It's like you can't be in one place all the time. It's too much. It's too suffocating. You need to change a house, you need to change a dress, you need to change something and then feel free. And this whole idea of getting caught up with the child is too, you need to have that security and freedom, both come together. But security and freedom don't come together. If you're secure, you have no adventure and you have no freedom. But we are expecting diverse stories to happen, and that causes our complete inauthenticity in our living, because we are saying we're getting married, we want to have a child because we want to feel secure. But the need for freedom is far more than need of security. So when something is happening in your life, check where were you inauthentic, where did it not fit in. Okay. Any other questions, guys, before I go to the next person, next case? So I'm not going to spend too much time on abortion and miscarriage, because otherwise it will become only a story of that. What do we mean by family patterns? We mean that in a family, people do things that get repeated again. Throughout the history, family composition has affected children's life in an important way. The nuclear household contains two generations, parents and children. Extended families are multi-generational, include a lot more people, including maybe servants over there. Now, I'm just going to take this off. So when we are looking at family and family patterns and the way we are going in life, so let me explain this to you. Remember last time I spoke about sexual abuse, and I also spoke right now about my father losing his mother at 2 years of age. Do you know this pattern repeated in my life, even though my mom is alive till today? Let's understand. My father lost his mother to death at 2 years of age. I lost my mother by separation at 6 years of age. When my little sister was born, my mom decided to leave me with her parents. That was the safest place on this planet Earth for me. But my mom was not looking after me. My nani, my mommy, my masis were looking after me. So great. I mean, if we really look forward, according to family constellation, I would have more than a few moms. My father at the age of 2 had more than a few moms. Which is why we had to develop this knack of communicating with more than a few people. My daughter at the age of 12 got separated from me. She had to leave home because of education and because I was migrating back from Czech Republic to India. Some kind of movement will shake the foundations of the children, and these are undecided separations. God help my daughter, because it looks like this is a table of two. My father lost his mom at the age of 2. 2 and 2, 3 is 6. 6 twos is 12. It feels like there is some kind of a story or a pattern repeating. Give you another pattern. My father could sell anything. He had this beautiful knack of selling nothing. He was such a good salesperson that he would stand, and I remember once telling him, Dad, I was in college teaching, so I needed to tell people about the department. How do I go about it? He tutored me so well that on that year, instead of having 25 people apply for that specific department of textiles and clothing in the Nirmaniketan College of Home Science, which is where I taught for many years, we had 85 people applying for that course, and there was a stampede. Why? Because I had learned it from my dad. I was doing a copycat of it. I'm sure when I'm talking, you are calculating in your head and saying, yeah, I'm like my mom, or I'm like my dad, I'm like this one, or I'm like that one. I'm sure people said to you, You are like your grandfather, you're like your grandmother, you're like this one, and you're like that one. You didn't come and say, I want to be like that. And yet, you also had diseases the same people had. My grandfather was the one who wouldn't bother whether a puppy had maggots on it or a child had shit around it. He would pick the baby up very easily. I can very easily do it without feeling any hanger. Now, what I'm trying to get to you is, if good patterns run, then bad patterns also run. Trace, if there are sexual abuses, has it happened before? If your husband is cheating on you or you are cheating on your husband, has it happened before? According to the constellation, have you rejected someone from the family who you are mimicking again? Because you are representing those parts of those people which were not accepted. This need to constantly be, for me, it was constantly a need to leave and fly. I can actually get down from a plane, rest for 2 hours, take the next plane and leave. I am very happy doing that. Today, sitting at home, I complete my lecture and get set up, get into joining hands, and then go back to get set up. It's as good as I'm flying, constantly sitting. So you can't cage my mind. Okay, any insights here, or anybody wants to ask any question here? Anybody wants to ask any question here?
Hi, Fatima here. Can I
Hi,
ask
Fatima.
you a question?
Please go ahead.
I wanted to know, like previously you said, you have to be your authentic self, like you need to check. So how do I do that? Like, how do I keep a track of like whether I'm doing is authentic to myself or not?
That's a very good question. Authenticity, that's the saddest part of it. We don't even know that we are being inauthentic to ourselves.
I mean, when you say, am I being authentic? Is it this my pattern or is I am being authentic? I mean, it's a very thin line. So I am a little confused on.
Whatever, Fatima, makes you feel unhappy, makes you obstructed in your path. And when you are feeling that you're doing things for others, not for yourself, because koi naraz ho jayega, that is the time you're being very inauthentic to yourself. And 99% of the time we live in that inauthenticity. I hope that's clear.
Yeah, that does make sense to me.
Thank you so much.
Thank
Any
you.
other question?
No,
I just want to acknowledge, yes, Sona.
Yeah, with this, actually, I just went back to what, my life story and how it all happened and all. Yeah, so great insight, because before marriage, I used to work, it was like full day I was out, and then I was at home. Now I'm at home. So yeah, I get that, what you are saying.
Yeah, you can cage people's body, not their mind. So let me give you a case of this girl who saw her mother very suppressed. She decided somewhere she should be working, and she got married into a house where work is not allowed. So she doesn't go out of the house, but she's never in the house, because if you cage her body, she's constantly sitting from home and doing one course after the other course. And her mother-in-law is saying, why don't you do intercourse? Why are you doing course after course? I hope you get my point. Yeah, so you can sit wherever you are and fly out of the house. तुम्हें कैद नहीं कर सकता कोई.
Right, thank you so much, Anu.
Thank you so much. और तुम्हें लगता है कि तुम घर में बैठी हो, सॉरी बॉस, किसको मिली हो? तुम अगर घर में बैठी हो तो तुमको ऐसे है जैसे तुमने every day you found a strategy to move out. Every day. Yes, Nikita Valecha from Ulhasnagar. Nikita? Yes.
Hello.
Namaste. Tell me.
Hey. Yeah, I would like to tell my experience. You were telling your story. When I got accident, my kid was also of 2 years. So he got also two, three mothers at that time.
Yes.
His grandmother and chachi and all were taking care of him. So two, three
Yes.
mothers were there. And one
Very
more
good.
thing, and one
Yes.
more thing, when I was in about 11th, I think so, my mother got paralytic attack due to stress in the family.
Oh, wow.
Uh,
Okay. Okay. This
and
is
uh,
connected. This is
and then
connected.
I got accident when my daughter was of nine, was studying in ninth standard. So
Thank you.
I was feeling connection in that.
Absolutely, there is. Now, what you need to find out is what is it that if your legs hadn't broke, sorry to say this crude language, but if your legs hadn't broken down, where would you have escaped to? कहाँ उड़ जाती आप अगर आपकी टांगों को कोई बांध नहीं देता और तोड़ नहीं देता? कहाँ उड़ने की सोच रही थी आप, जो आज आपने अपने आप को बांध लिया क्योंकि आपको पता था कि फैमिली को रन करना बहुत जरूरी है. Kanchan, want to share something? Oh, nice to see you here. So I just want to get to you guys that हम लोग सोचते हैं कि ये by chance हो रहा है. There is no accidents even in an accident. And that's what is so beautiful about Meta Health. It will give you the whole story. So let's go back over here. And I think this is one thing that I've repeated even before, but I would like to again repeat here. So we are 3 generations together in a womb. Whatever happened to your grandmom is going to impact your mom and is going to impact you, because when your grandmom was pregnant with your mom, you were already inside her in the form of an egg inside her ovary. Her environment is going to have an impact on your mom, who's an unborn fetus, but also on you because your parchai, your egg, is already there, sitting, waiting for almost 50 to 60 years under the same environment to be blossoming at some point. That seed has taken all the soch, all the understanding, all the subconscious patterns already fitted in over there in that small seed. So you think you have a control over this? Think again. That's why as a mother, it's very important. And as a grandmother, it's very important. Some people ask me this question. It's extremely important that you clean the conflicts. It's extremely important so that your children have to clean less and your grandchildren have to clean nothing. And they can live a happy life. So, like I said, family secrets कुछ ऐसे होते हैं कि जितना छुपाया छुप नहीं पाते हैं. उन फैमिली सीक्रेट्स में आएंगे अडॉप्शंस, फैमिली सीक्रेट्स में आएंगे सेक्स वाली स्टोरीज, उन सेक्स सीक्रेट्स में आएंगी कि अगर किसी ने किसी के साथ शादी करा के कोई एक्स्ट्रा बच्चा बाहर पैदा हुआ है, ऐसी वाली बात हम कुछ नहीं करते, पर यू नो कभी ना कभी ये उठ के आती हैं. एंड मेनी मोर. I believe that secrets are almost like, if you throw a dead body into the sea or the river, आपको लगा अगर नीचे पत्थर बांध के नहीं फेंका थोड़ी देर के बाद वो ऊपर उठ के आएगी and there'll be a stink around it. तो आपके secrets जो है ना बहुत बदबूदार है बस. They will leave a stink in your life. कितना छुपा लोगे कि तुम प्यार नहीं करते, मोहब्बत नहीं है, कितना कहीं ना कहीं वो उठ के आएगी. इसीलिए कहते हैं इश्क और मुश्क छुपाए नहीं छुपते, और इसी तरीके से आपके सीक्रेट्स छुपाए नहीं छुपते. आई होप यू गॉट द पॉइंट. एंड कभी ना कभी ये बॉडी को बाहर निकाल के आपको उसके साथ डील करना ही पड़ेगा, बिकॉज विदाउट इट यू आर टेलिंग कि आई एम हाइडिंग इट. but someone in your generation is going to get up and feel exactly the way you felt. अगर मदर ने अपने अरमान को दबा के काम करने नहीं गई है, तो उसका बच्चा जब पैदा होगा सारी एग्रेशन लेके बैठा रहेगा. Let me give you a case study here. This lady, her child is, they said that he's got ADHD. He actually has schizophrenia and he cannot function properly. The mother could not and the parents could not make out there was anything wrong with the child right up till he was 7 or 8 years of age. Interestingly, when I asked the mother, ऐसा क्या हुआ तुम्हारी जिंदगी में, ऐसा क्या हुआ तुम्हारी जिंदगी में कि तुम्हें लगा कि तुम्हारे साथ लोग नहीं है, सपोर्ट नहीं है तुम्हारे पास, तो पहले तो बोली कुछ नहीं हुआ. से देखो आपके बेटे की बात है, बता दोगी तो आसान रहेगा मेरे लिए. Today that son is 30 years of age, by the way. तो बोली मेरे हस्बैंड और मेरे साथ अच्छे से बिहेव नहीं करता है इवन टुडे. ही इज अ वेरी बिग बैंकर, ही हैज अ लॉट ऑफ मनी. गुस्सा बहुत है और मेरे फादर इन लॉ भी उतने ही गुस्से वाले हैं. फादर इन लॉ गुस्से वाले हैं, आगे हस्बैंड गुस्से वाला है, आगे बेटा गुस्से वाला है. जब उसको गुस्सा आता है तो इतना आता है कि ही इज रेडी टू पीट आउट हिज मदर. अगर आपने किसी को साइकाइट्रिक मेडिसिन देनी है तो पहले जाके छांट के देखें कि डोंट यू थिंक instead of giving son the medication we need to do something else here. हम लोग कितने आसानी से कह देते हैं ना, we told her to do it and she didn't do it. Oh, she didn't do it because there were so many back who didn't do it. समझ रहे हो? आप कौन समझ रखा अपने आप को कि तुम आओगी आके बोलोगी तुम कल से मेडिसिन खा लो, थेरेपी ले लो, और वो बोलेगा हाँ जी. Trace these patterns because these patterns are the ones which are killing you. आज तो जो हुआ क्योंकि कोई पीछे ऑथेंटिक नहीं था यार. कचरा छोड़ गया है बाथरूम के अंदर, बहुत सारी शिट साफ नहीं हुई है 3 जनरेशन से. एटलीस्ट 90 इयर्स का काम करने लगे हो आप. इतनी आसानी से एक सेशन में आप सब सूत्रे हो जाओगे, चांस ही नहीं है. सो हम कुछ नहीं हाइड कर सकते, ना अपनी प्रेगनेंसी, ना हमारा प्यार, ना हमारी हेट्रेड. चलो यहाँ पे एक और आपको बोलती हूँ. मदर इन लॉ टेल्स मी कि मुझे नहीं पता कि मेरी डॉटर इन लॉ को मेरे बेटे से प्यार है कि नहीं. 10 मिनट के बाद बोलती हैं होना तो चाहिए मेरे बेटे से प्यार, इतना प्यारा है, इतनी मिन्नतों से मैंने उसको मांगा था. हाँ थोड़ा गुस्सा है, पर गुस्सा इसी वजह से क्योंकि वो वाइफ ठीक से बनी नहीं. शायद सेक्स नहीं दिया, खाना नहीं दिया, कंपनी नहीं दी, गॉड नोस क्या क्या नहीं दिया. पता नहीं क्यों वो प्यार नहीं दे पा रही है मेरे बेटे को. और 10 मिनट के बाद बोली पता नहीं मेरा बेटा उसको इतनी हेट क्यों करता है. अगर आप किसी को हेट दे रहे हो तो आपको प्यार कैसे मिलेगा? बस डिसाइड, हेट देनी है कि प्यार देना है, और उसके लिए पूरी फैमिली को खड़े होके अनकंडीशनल प्यार देना पड़ेगा, तभी कुछ हो सकता है. This is inauthenticity. When we speak, we don't even realize what we are saying. हम झूठ थोड़ी ना बोल रहे हैं, हम तो दूसरे के भलाई के लिए बोल रहे हैं. जैसे कि someone very close to me, नाम नहीं लूंगी, सेम चीज, उसको तकलीफ नहीं होनी चाहिए, but her husband had an affair and obviously they're going to hide it from their daughter. At some stage when the daughter comes to know, is she going to react and how is she going to react? And at this point I want you to think, क्या हो सकता है कि जो बेडरूम में आपके साथ हो रहा है, जो बेडरूम में आपके साथ हो रहा है, वो शायद प्यार नहीं रेप है, और आप इसके बारे में किसी को कुछ नहीं कह रहे हैं. मैं जिंदगी का निभाता चला गया. किस लिए? क्योंकि यही जिंदगी है. पर आपको क्या लगता है ये छुप जाएगा? Tomorrow when your daughter does not feel loved by her husband, don't scratch your head as to why that is happening. Why she doesn't feel like the first woman in his life. If your husband has made his mom the first woman in his life, his sister's the first woman in his life, and you were never the first woman in his life, how can your daughter or your son feel like the first man or the woman in their partner's life? तुमने निभाया था, तुमने ट्रेन किया है, वो भी निभाते चले जाएं, क्योंकि जो लोग बोल देते हैं उन्हें बदतमीज बुलाते हैं. She's so समझ नहीं आती इसको लाइफ कैसी होनी चाहिए.
Anu ji, I want to ask something.
बोले
That
ना.
mother and sister are first women in husband's life means emotionally too much connected that they keep them their mothers first and then the wives. Is that so?
Shukriya Sonal for that sawal. Don't you think it's an epidemic in our country?
Yeah, it is very much. In India, it is like माँ सबसे पहले होती है. So, that way. And we, sometimes we are conditioned that it's okay if they are, giving mothers that place because that we feel it's right because we have been conditioned throughout, like, since we are.
Pattern, Sonal. This is called a cultural pattern. तो अगर कल्चरल पैटर्न होगा तो कल्चरल में आपसे एक्सपेक्ट किया जाता है, तभी आप वो करोगे. Very good question. I'm not talking about sexually that they are hitting on each other. I'm talking about emotional, and in many, many places, an emotional bonding that you have with the person is considered far more important than the sexual bonding. Emotional bonding can be done anywhere very easily. Sexual bonding needs a secrecy of a room and hiding. Thank you, Kanchan. Question.
Anu, is it possible that, sometimes mothers are so possessive of their sons that they do not want the daughter-in-laws to have the sexual intimacy with their son? And that is why they create so much of drama around the daughter-in-laws.
Absolutely, Kanchan. Son is their territory. Most of the women in our country did not feel connected to their husbands. They connected with them sexually to have a child. Emotional connection was not there. They emotionally connected with their son, sexually connected with their husband. Husbands were busy earning money and telling them finances कौन लेके आएगा घर पे, तुम घर पे बैठी हो, तुमको तो पता नहीं मैं कितना काम करता हूँ. तो I'm coming to that. So for women, their children become their identity and they become part of them. They are extensions of themselves. अब कोई जब तीसरा आके बीच में खड़ा हो जाता है, who's not even belonging to your family, it's like having this big chunk of information that has to be taken down, जैसे कि गले के अंदर हड्डी अटक गई हो. And this is not just for unpad log, this is just something that is her space. जैसे उसकी स्पेस में उसने अपने हस्बैंड को तो जाने दिया है, पर बेटे को जाने देना बहुत मुश्किल काम है. And there is a balance that you have to achieve. ज्यादा छोड़ दो तो पतंग उड़ती नहीं है, बहुत टाइट खींच लो तो भी पतंग उड़ती नहीं है. कहीं बीच का अगर रखो तो सारी स्टोरी चलती है. And we are not balanced in our approach, क्योंकि हमारा बैलेंस उसी दिन हो गया था जिस दिन हमने अपने हस्बैंड के साथ इमोशनल बॉन्डिंग करने के बजाय हम सिर्फ अपने बच्चों के साथ कर रहे थे because that was considered a safe place to be in. No other man on this earth will you go and bond the way you will bond with your son. गलत नहीं है. It's a natural process. It is very difficult. I hope I've answered your question. It's like literally you're walking into someone's space. ये मेरा है. आप 2 मिनट के सब लोग इकट्ठे बोलेंगे मेरे में क्या आता है, जोर से बोलेंगे मेरे में, मेरे बच्चे. सबसे पहले लोग बोलते हैं मेरे बच्चे, मेरा हस्बैंड, मेरा घर, मेरी गाड़ी, मेरी 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 मेरा जॉब. ये जहां जहां आपने मैं मेरा मेरा
मेरा फोन,
हाँ मेरा फोन, मेरी चड्डी, मेरा मेरा सलवार कमीज, मेरा, ये स्यापा मेरे का है. जो मेरा है वो तेरा नहीं, और जब तेरा नहीं तो मुझे तो खुंदकी आनी आनी है. ये मेरा बेटा तेरा कैसे हो गया? आपको ऐसे करना चाहिए शुरू में ही, बाल करके ना शादी. यू शुड गेट पीपल होम, तब भी नहीं चलेगा. Literally, I'm telling you, this is one area there we need a lot of education, including me. All of us, we have not been trained. We have not been given tools at all. आदमी पागल की तरह पैसे कमाने लग जाता है, औरत पागल की तरह घर को संभालने लग जाती है. कहीं पे there is a divide, और कहीं पे लोग डिवाइड एंड रूल पॉलिसी यहाँ पे भी लगा के बैठे. I hope I made it very clear. So these are again patterns. Any other question? मैंने कुछ तकलीफ वाला हाँ जी, this is a pattern that's running in our culture, and इसका इलाज बहुत मुश्किल है भैया. तो हम लोग झूठ बोलते हैं अपने आप से, नो मम्मी जी आई लव यू. आधी औरतें तो ये बोलती हैं यार मेरी मदर इन लॉ जाएगी कब. मदर इन लॉ बोलती है ये डॉटर इन लॉ जाएगी कब. दिमाग खराब करके रखा हुआ इसने. मेरा घर कितना अच्छा चल रहा था, एक्चुअली पहले भी नहीं अच्छा चल रहा था. आपका फोकस अपने हस्बैंड पे था, अब स्टूडेंट पे आ गया. फर्क इतना ही. ठीक है, आगे बढ़ते हैं. किसी को मेरी बात ना पसंद आए माफ कर देना. आई एम ओनली टॉकिंग फ्रॉम वेरी ऑथेंटिक स्पेस. वी आर very terribly nervous and afraid to lose it all, especially our face. हमारा चेहरा नहीं गिरना चाहिए यार. And most of the diseases around our face, pimples around our face, skin problems around our face, darkness around our face, is all to do with afraid to lose it all, especially my face. मेरा face नहीं गिरना चाहिए. आजकल आसान हो गया, वैसे आधा फेस मास्क के अंदर है. आपकी आंखें ना गिर जाएं कहीं. आगे आपका नाम पीपल प्लीजर भी डाल सकते हैं. दैट्स योर बिगेस्ट सीक्रेट, कि शायद आप किसी को खुश नहीं कर पाए, और लोगों को खुश करते करते अपने आप को तो बिल्कुल नहीं खुश कर पाए. फिर यहाँ पे इनऑथेंटिसिटी देखो. आपकी मदर इन लॉ घर आती हैं, आप घर साफ कर रहे हैं. माय मदर इन लॉ इज कमिंग टुडे. क्यों? क्योंकि आपने उनको इम्प्रेस करना है. वो घर आके पहली शक्ल तुम्हारी देख के बोलती है अच्छा. हस्बैंड तुम्हारा बोलता है मम्मी जी हम 4 दिन से घर साफ कर रहे हैं, आपको खुश करने के लिए. ये ऑथेंटिक है. हम ऐसे नहीं रहते, आपकी वजह से कर रहे हैं. आपका फेवरेट खाना बनाया है तो मदर इन लॉ 10 मिनट के बाद ऐसे करती हैं, जैसे ये दीवार है, ऐसे ऐसे हाथ. ऐसे लगता है ये वाला कॉर्नर तुम मिस कर गई हो. अब वो भी सही है, आप भी सही हो. आपने 4 दिन लगाए, वो कॉर्नर आप मिस कर गई. इज दिस नॉट अ पैटर्न? तुम्हारा सीक्रेट क्या है वहां पे? यू आर हेटिंग हर. कर क्या रही हो? ये नहीं ना रखोगी तो हस्बैंड रो पड़ेगा, और ये रखोगी तो तुम रो पड़ोगी. कहीं पे मिडिल वे नहीं आ सकता क्या? हम उसको माँ नहीं बना सकते क्या? बहुत मुश्किल है। तो सबसे पहले सोच लें कि योर डॉटर इन लॉ इज अ डॉटर इन लॉ। डॉटर इन लव बोल लो, डॉटर इन हवा बोल लो, डॉटर ईयर बोल लो। बी ऑनेस्ट टू योरसेल्फ फर्स्ट। मुश्किल काम है, बैलेंस यहाँ लाना थोड़ा सा नहीं, बहुत मुश्किल। एंड दिस इज द inauthenticity and this is the pattern which can create a lot of hangama in your life, and in some lives it creates hangama for the next 40 years. Mother बोलती मैं तो आपके पास रही नहीं बेटे, हस्बैंड आपके पास है, लेकिन वैसे ही जैसे मैंने आपको बताया था आप उड़ सकते हो तो वो भी कहीं और हो सकता है। यू कैन बी इन द क्लासरूम लिसनिंग टू योर टीचर, पर तुम वहां हो ही नहीं ना। शादियों में तुम वहां हो ही नहीं। थोड़ी देर के बाद ऐसे लगता है बीवी सारी जिंदगी का तमाशा करके बैठी हुई है। चलिए आगे बढ़ते हैं। So people pleaser can be anywhere. It can be with your boss, it can be with a guest of yours, it can be with your child. You want a child who should be very bright. क्या है तुम्हारा बच्चा ना देखने में सुंदर है, डिससैटिस्फैक्शन तुम्हारे अंदर हो रही है, निकाल कहाँ रही हो तुम? If the child is feeling low, the projection is yours somewhere. बहुत मुश्किल balance है, it's a tight rope on which we are all walking up. So are you really proud of what we are and how we are living our life? We keep secrets because it avoids causing any pain and to ourselves and to others. This is what we believe. It's just a white lies. क्या हुआ? Family secrets. ये देखो ना, सबके मुंह पे मैंने slip डाल दी है। सब एक दूसरे के साथ खड़े हैं। Let me say this to you. The most difficult people to keep happy are your home people. सारा जग जित्या जिन्नू जितना सी ओनू ना जित्या तो फिर की जित्या। सारी दुनिया को आपने जीता, पर जिसको जीतना था जब उसे ना जीता तो आपने क्या जीता? हम अगर झुकते हैं तो सिर्फ अपने फैमिली मेंबर्स के आगे। बहुत डॉन जैसा बंदा देखा मैंने, पर जब उसके बेटे उसको छोड़ के चले गए तो वो डॉन को पिघलते भी देखा मैंने। आपके बच्चे आपको ठीक करने आते हैं, आपको अपने लाइफ लेसन सिखाने आते हैं। And so does our husband and the other mother. The other mother is always very different from the mother that you are in. Patterns you follow are the similar to the ones that your mom did. मेरी मॉम सारी जिंदगी ये कहती रही कि मैं मेरी माँ के घर जाके नहीं रहूंगी, और पिछले 15-18 साल से शी इज नॉट गॉन देयर. माय नानी इज नॉट एनी मोर, बट एट सम पॉइंट शी कॉट इट इन हर हेड कि यू नो लोगों को मैं मेरी माँ पे बर्डन नहीं बनना चाहिए. Do you know I subconsciously carried this for many years in my story. How can I be a burden to my mom? Because she felt like a burden to her mom. Interestingly, I love my mom too so much. She loves her mom so much. And yet our moms were looking at their moms. क्या बोलते हैं, ऐसा नहीं कि प्यार नहीं, जहां उम्मीद हो इसकी वहां नहीं मिलता. ये भी पैटर्न है. मेरी नानी अपनी माँ की तरफ देख रही थी कि वो उसे अटेंशन देगी. मेरी नानी उसको अपनी माँ को भाभो बुलाती थी. She didn't get what she wanted. उसे क्या चाहिए था? प्यार. प्यार कैसे मिला? जब पैसे दिए. प्यार चाहिए कि पैसा चाहिए, सोचना पड़ेगा. फिर मेरी नानी ने मुझे पाला, और मैं मेरी मॉम को ढूंढ रही थी, नानी को नहीं, मामी को नहीं. बहुत अच्छे से पाला उन्होंने मुझे, किसी चीज की कमी नहीं होने दी. पर बॉस, मुझे मेरी माँ की कमी थी. गुस्सा हूं मैं उनसे कि मेरी छोटी बहन को लेके चले गई, मुझे क्यों नहीं रखा। और आगे I carried this. Interestingly, my daughter left me when she was 12. वो इतनी दूर है कि अगर वो मेरी तरफ देख भी रही है तो मुझे दिखाई नहीं देती उसकी भी। And coincidentally, every time she came down, I was very busy. आप अपने वक्त को भरना शुरू करते हो, फिर वो खालीपन खत्म हो जाता है। फिर जब लोग आपके पास आके सामने खड़े भी हो जाते हैं, उनकी जगह नहीं रहती। कहीं वो बड़ी हो गई, कहीं मैं बड़ी हो गई। टुडे शी इज 24 साल की है, वो शी इज 24। व्हेन शी कम्स शी फील्स क्लोजर टू माय मॉम देन शी फील्स टू मी। और मॉम और मैं घर के 5 मिनट की दूरी पे रहते हैं, तो इट कांट बी that my mother is giving her extra love. It's just an epigenealogy running. You will have accidents at the same time. You will have the same crunches in your life and the same stories in your life, because this is the unsolved shit that you're carrying further in your life. Okay.
Can I ask you a question?
Sure. Go ahead. Go ahead.
How do I break this pattern then?
बहुत देर से find out कर रही हूँ, and I will tell you in next 5 minutes. We have 15 minutes before I do any sound. You know, I can go on with this topic because I've done so much of research over here. ये देखिए, ये सारे patterns हैं, ये nature में patterns हैं, दिन एंड रात का pattern है, ECG का pattern है, voice का pattern है. Everything is a pattern and nothing else. Everything. मजे की बात ये है कि आप एक पैटर्न को तोड़ोगे तो वहां थमती नहीं है चीजें, दे क्रिएट अनदर पैटर्न। फिर हमको ये नहीं पता कि वो जो नया पैटर्न है विल हैव मोर कॉन्सिक्वेंसेस और लेस कॉन्सिक्वेंसेस। मतलब हमने सोचा कि लव मैरिज यहाँ होती नहीं है इस घर में, और पैटर्न था कि माय मामा वांटेड टू गेट मैरिड टू समवन, वहां हुई नहीं शादी। जहाँ शादी हुई वहां पे इज वेरी हैप्पी, बट हुई नहीं जहाँ पे होनी चाहिए थी। माय मासी हैड द सेम थिंग गोइंग विद हर, जहाँ वो शादी कराना चाहती थी वहां हुई नहीं। वो दिल भर याद रह गया यहाँ पे जहन में, लेकिन रियलिटी हमारी कुछ और थी। हाथ में हमारे महबूबा कोई और थी और दिल में कोई और था। हमने सोचा कि अगर लव मैरिज हो जाए शायद उनके आगे बच्चों की, मतलब मामा के बेटे की या बेटी की, देन एवरीथिंग विल बी ऑलराइट। पर यार ये तो सोचा ही नहीं कि पहला वाला बंदा उनकी जिंदगी में नहीं लिखा। यहाँ पे जो पैटर्न्स होते हैं उसके साथ आप समझदारी नहीं दिखा सकते। इट इज द अंडरस्टैंडिंग हैज टू बी वेरी वेरी प्रोफाउंड। हाँ, सवाल ये है कि हाउ कैन यू डू वन थिंग डिफरेंट, and we all know how to do one thing differently. There's a whole therapy called doing one thing differently in positive psychology, and that is something that is very 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 useful. आप अगर दिन में 24 घंटे बैठे हैं तो what will do one thing differently? You'll get up and walk. If you're constantly sitting down and cribbing about your husband, what will you do differently? That day you will go and praise him. गिर जाएगा बेचारा, सुनी नहीं है आपकी प्रेस। तुम जाके कहोगी ना जब, हनी आज तो तुम बहुत अच्छे लग रहे हो, तो बोलेगा तबीयत ठीक है तुम्हारी। डोंट गिव अप, कंटिन्यू। हर रोज आपने वो वन थिंग जो डिफरेंटली कर है उसे बार बार करना है। जैसे कि मैंने किया था। My father wasn't used to anybody mollycoddling him. For 10 years, he was sitting in his couch because he wasn't well. Literally sitting in his couch because he couldn't walk without my mom holding him. भगवान ना बहुत चीज है, हर आदमी की पूरी करता है बात। So it's very interesting that He had never told me I love him. Kisses, hugs were not allowed in our house. अश्लील माना जाता. मैं तो आपको पता है कैसी हूँ. जब मैं वापस बॉम्बे आई and my father wasn't well, I went and started giving him a kiss here, a kiss here, a kiss here, giving him a hug and saying to him, Papa, I love you. 10 साल कहा पापा I love you, I love you, I love you. पहली बार कहा तो मेरा पापा गिर गया, literally. He couldn't meet his eyes with me. 15 days के बाद वो ढूंढ रहा था किसने आज कहा क्यों नहीं I love you. Do you know the benefit of doing one thing differently? On the day he left the planet Earth, 15 minutes before that, he told me, I love you. And he gave me a kiss on my hand. Wo kiss, wo words, I love you, will never let me die. इसके लिए दम चाहिए. इसके लिए आप people pleasing नहीं, आप खुद को please कर रहे हो. सामने वाला reject कर रहा है तो उनकी problem. But you are doing what you want to do. Every day, consistently. It doesn't matter. तुमने शायद rejection को बहुत ज़्यादा importance दे दी है. Yes, you're going out of your house every day. मैं sorry messages read नहीं कर रही हूँ because I am in hurry to at least give you as much as I can. चलो आपको एक case study दे देते हैं यहाँ पे patterns की. I'm just thinking which one. Color blindness की देते हैं. It will be a great case study. This case study was broken by Dr. Kwesi Anand Udam, who is my mentor, and he was able to put light on this and make me understand what is the color blindness all about in the meta way with the colors. I'm just going to share a screen with colors. Can you see colors?
Yes.
Yes, yes.
Can you see this red color?
Orange.
Orange.
Yes. This orange is considered as a Lucia red. Lucia is another branch, study branch, which Dr. Kwesi studies, and I'm his student, so I do this very well. Red color was missing in the spectrum. For my son, he can't see red color. And he can't make out any difference between green color and red color. Orange, he can't. If I showed him green, he will look at it, and red, he can't see at all. So red is for activity. Green is for self-esteem. मतलब मेरा अहम structure, मेरी life, something that gives me stability, like a mountain. ये समझ गए आप? Can I take the colors off? Very good. Can you see the slide or you can't? कि नीचे दिख रही है.
We can.
नीचे दिख
Not,
रही है.
it's not very clear, right?
No, do you want to make
Now?
it full screen? Yeah.
Now?
Yes.
So when Pakistan-India war happened, but partition happened, not war. And Vikram's, that's my husband's family, was coming from Pakistan. My father-in-law's family was also coming back from Pakistan. At this point, my mother-in-law with her father was coming back as a separate family. They didn't know each other. And my father-in-law's family was also coming back. And in this whole tamasha, a lot of massacre happened. A lot of tamasha happened. One of the biggest tamasha that happened was that their young daughter, who was pregnant, gave birth to a baby on the platform. Like, you see in the movies, they all put the chattars around. They lost the child, they lost the mother and the child. The man who was coming back was a headmaster of a school. Red means work and action. He could not take appropriate actions. And green means Meri Izzat. He couldn't take appropriate actions to take care of his daughter. All his sons later went into Indian Army because their father could not do something that they were trying to complete. Interestingly, my husband had a habit of collecting plastic bags. Any idea why? And knives. Any idea why? चलिए देखते हैं आप कितने इंटेलिजेंट हो.
Protection.
Why do you think?
If
Yes.
anything happens.
Bags why and knife why?
Knife was for protection, safety, fight back.
Vikram's, that is my husband's grandmother, Dadi, was a Sardani. And Karpan unme protection ke liye mani jati hai. She carried that, and God knows what she did with it, but she was definitely able to save her daughters and reach them safely till the station. My husband wouldn't, when I got married, he would tell me, मुझे पता नहीं आ रहा है, what fascination for knives. दुकान में जाके उसको knife तो जरूर खरीद के लेके आना. And so did my son. Abhi tak he is fascinated with knives. And the rest of the family connected with going to the army, and they are still in the army, so that, and they have fought at Kargil war, one of them, so that they can protect the country. ये जो protection का कीड़ा वहां से शुरू हुआ, आज तक चला आ रहा है. I hope you're getting my point that these patterns get formed in a very interesting manner. Abhi, Arjun ke dada did not have the red in his spectrum and green in his spectrum exactly in the way Arjun does not have it. Is because he felt the loss of job. His father felt loss of job and izzat at that platform and could never regain it back. He didn't lose it, but his next generation couldn't see these colors क्योंकि ना दिखाई देगा ना दर्द होगा. My son doesn't see again red and green color. Interestingly, Vikram sees these colors, but he still carries the conflict, and he went through similar conflict of losing his job and then feeling as if he's lost his self. Dekhiye, it's a financial rape where people feel a loss of identity. Patterns repeat again till you जो घाव है ना उन्हें भरना बहुत जरूरी है. जो घाव आपके अंदर है उन्हें भरना बहुत जरूरी है, क्योंकि अगर आपने वो भरे नहीं तो आपके बच्चे प्राइस पे करेंगे. And that's a very difficult price for your children to pay. I hope I've got some essence of diseases, secrets, and family patterns together. It's 5:20, and I would last 5 minutes if you can ask me questions, and then we do sound for last 5 minutes. And if anybody wants to join, you can go on Get Set Up platform and you can register for the class today. It's at 7 o'clock. I'm going doing 1 hour sound healing and for everyone. I will also send you, Neha, the link just in case anybody wants to join in and have fun. Okay. So any questions from here on? I hope you enjoyed that. लगा दिल भरा नहीं जैसे आप लोगों का. हाँ जी. Any सवाल?
May
Yes,
I
Neha.
ask one?
Please go ahead, Neha.
This is called transgenerational trauma, right? The one that has come even when you spoke about the partition. Is it
A lot of research by Bruce Lipton, please take down his name, Bruce Lipton, biologist, proved that
BUSE?
BRUCE, Bruce Lipton, LIPTON. He's written a whole book called Biology of Belief. And he mentions how our environment actually is the one that impacts our disease more than anything else, more than our nurturing. It's our environment that's going to impact. This is generational impact, and it is part of what we call epigenetics, above the genetics, above the genes, beyond the genes. Initially, people used to believe 99% of the diseases are happening because of the genetics. Then they took two absolute identical twins, put them in two different environments, and both the twins turned out to be absolutely different. How did that happen? Because the environment that was given was different. And yet at the same time, there will be parts of them which will be absolutely similar. That part, which is absolutely similar, can then be traced back in time and seen where is that coming from. How come children haven't met their parents at all, and we have adopted children in our family who've never really even known that this gentleman is their father, and yet they behaved exactly like him. So there is a part of this and a part of that which is very fascinating. So this is looking at what are the patterns that are running in our family, which we have no control over because they were not authentic in their life. They kept their secrets. They didn't clean up their space. We have to deal with it.
Okay.
We have to deal with it. Like women feeling constantly suppressed and below, even after so much of empowerment. Why are we still feeling it? Because we haven't seen our mothers empowered. There is something happening there which is creating a whole ripple effect in your genealogy, in your generation.
Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. Okay, any other question? Okay, so what I want,
Can I
yes,
say something?
Of course, of course.
I really enjoyed the way you.
Of course.
Yes. I'm Fatima here. Fatima here. Sorry. Fatima.
I'm sorry, I can't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
No, I just wanted to say I really enjoyed the way you put everything, all the cases, and interestingly hooked up everyone till the end, like, you know, with a layman language to understand the depth of the case. It was really nice to hear.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
And understand everything. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Yes, Neha, Nikita. Yes, Nikita.
I would like to say that you said that we women feel suppressed, and
Not everybody.
that I resonate with it. That I have not seen my mother also having got that much power, and that is with me too. Now, but as my daughter is married now, she was dominating here at her home. Now there she is feeling suppressed.
Absolutely. This is a गाना that we are singing. जहां पे तुम्हारे माँ बाप की अटकी वहीं तुम्हारी अटकी, वहीं पे तुम्हारे बच्चों की अटकने वाली. सिंपल वो गाना है ना, तू मेरी चमक छल्लो और अटक जाए वहीं पे. तू मेरी चमक छल्लो, अटक गए हम. तू मेरी चमक छल्लो, फिर से अटक गए हम.
वो
बस
वो
वैसे
उसका
ही.
एक्चुअली जो उसका पैटर्न नहीं है वो डोमिनेटिंग है यहाँ पे, तो वो वहाँ पे मतलब है ना नहीं कर पा रही है वो.
You put people in the similar environment and see them reacting in the similar way. You see people reacting in the same way. Same things अगर वहां पे anxiety solve नहीं करी तो यहाँ तुमको होगी होगी. I'm sure you'll be able to join the dots of your life, and hopefully this really helped you to explore many things that are required to be looked at. I'm going to just play sound for you guys so that whatever heaviness is there, we can deal with it. Is that good? So give me 2 minutes. You can take a susu break till then. I'm just putting the polls. And
Okay, I'll just
yeah.
put the recording on pause.
Thank you.
Thank you.